welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. My name's Erin, and I have something I have not had in a very long time. I have some happy mail. I actually ordered something for myself for the first time in months, and I know that you guys have probably seen this at least 1,000 times on numerous YouTube channels all over ColorTube, but I want to do it myself because I haven't even seen a flip through of this book yet, and I wanted it. So we're gonna do some first impressions and probably another flip through of this book. Yay! I'm so excited! Alright, let me get everything good and centered here and zoom out just enough so that you guys can see the whole book. Oop, that's in. Zoom out just enough so you can see the whole thing. Scoot over this way a little. Okay, maybe my little memory card. Now then, I have to figure out how to get into this thing, guys. Hope everybody's doing good. I am so excited to see what is in this book. And depending on how long my reaction is, we may also do a little coloring in it. Or I may, and talk your face off while you watch me color in it. So I have Fairy Miracles by the lovely Clara Markova. We're going to put it over here so that when I open the pages you can see them all. This cover is gorgeous. I love the dark blue. As always, we get the cute little thingies that come in here. Is this a sticker? It looks like a sticker. Maybe it's not a sticker. Even so, it's gorgeous. So we're going to sit those there because I definitely need bookmarks. Welcome to my magical world full of miracles. In your hands, you are now holding a piece of my heart, and I am honored to guide you through my world full of pixies, fairies, little flower dragons, and kind animals. Each of my books was made with love from the very beginning of the first sketch to the moment when you open it and imprint a colorful life into all the delightful pictures. Every page is full of stories filled with love, and I'm very happy to share this piece of my world with you. With love, Clara. That's awesome. My other ones that I got from her didn't have that in there. I love that this is black. I may have to get a white colored pencil out and do something with that. We're going to slide this up just a smidge. I'm trying to keep this in the frame just perfectly. We may have to color this. I think we might have to color this today. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's all just, and I love how she's got on the back where you can write the date that you finish it. Her art just, oh my gosh, little flying bunnies. Amazing. It's just so pretty. They're all so pretty. I want to color all of them. It's so cute. Look, it's a unicorn. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so pumped. I'm so happy to see this book. I'm so happy to have it in my hands. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's going to be so fun. So, I was thinking the other day that it would be fun if I took one coloring book and just colored it from cover to cover. Not necessarily using the same pencils, but to color one picture and then another and then another. And I think I was going to do it at one point before, and I kind of gave up in the middle of it. But I think that doing something like that, like when you're having a coloring mojo, you just don't have any, like you don't feel like doing anything, or you don't know what to color. I think that having a book that you're just coloring cover to cover might help alleviate some of that because you already know what's next in that particular book. This is, the seahorse is, I love it. I love it. The mother of pearl on the inside and then the actual pearls, that would be nice. The mermaid is lovely. This book is just absolutely beautiful. I am in love. Hydrangeas. Her little people are just so quirky and cute. I think that's what it is about these books that I like so much. They're just adorable. Little kittens. Oh, look at the puppy dog. And you know, it's kind of expensive because I ordered this book on Amazon. Well, first of all, I'm not going to complain because I was absolutely thrilled that I could order it on Amazon. And then I got it that way and didn't have to go like the super expensive route. But it was still $28 and that included Prime shipping. But these books, like, it's a hardcover book. The paper is fantastic. It is packed full of pages to color. 100 and some odd pages to color. So it's not like you're not getting your money's worth. You're getting high quality paper. You're getting a whole bunch of really pretty pictures. And these books are keepsake quality. It's not, you know, we're even like thinking, you know, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly as a keepsake. Could you imagine what would happen if Joanna Basford decided that she was going to print like a version of Inky Ivy in a hardback book like this? She could easily charge $30 and people would easily pay it. I would be one of them. These books are absolutely fantastic. And I think I'm going to, guys. I'm going to challenge myself in 365 days. Oh, I can't color 100 pages. I think I'll give myself like 2 years to finish the whole book. Or maybe 3. What do you guys think? 2 years or 3 years? Because I don't want to color this exclusively. But how long do you think if I colored it cover to cover and I spent like 1 day a week coloring in it, how long would it take me to finish it? 2 years? Maybe 3? I don't think it really matters. I don't know if I want to put a time limit on my challenge. That's adorable. I love this picture. And I like it that some of my favorite ones are in the back because it'll keep me motivated to keep going. And this one, the bees, oh, it's so cute. All the presents. Look how adorable they are with their hats. I like how some of them are seasonal, which is going to kind of be not so fun for coloring cover to cover, but it'll still be worth it. Get a double spread in here. Oh, ooh, that's pretty. I love the owl. Look, the little artist elf or fairy or whatever. It looks like an elf because his ears are pointy. And we have the cutouts. I'm so happy to have all of her books again. Really, I am. They're so awesome, guys. Like, this is just, look how pretty. Look how pretty it is. It just makes my day. This blue, this book is so pretty. Okay, so let's color and chat just a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of time for videos today, but that only took like 7 minutes, so we can make this happen. So let's do some coloring, and I think I'm going to use, I got some pencils out. We're going to do with these. I have my Lyra Rembrandt Polycolor pencils that I haven't used in forever. Now I don't have many of these. I think there are something like 30, there's like 40 something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. I have like 51 colors, which is enough to color a picture. I've used the luminance and only have 40 of those. So I think we're going to use this, but you are going to have to bear with me just a minute because I do need to grab a sharpener. Alright, I am so sorry about that, but I have what I need now. So, I have my trusty Tagal sharpener. My boyfriend bought me a set of makeup brushes today because they were super duper soft, and I took the big one out so I can use it to dust away my pencil dust. And I'm hoping that this will do better than those paint brushes that I have. These are at Walmart. It comes in a set of like 5 for $10. They are super, super soft, and all the other ones I plan to use for makeup. But I already have a big brush like this that I use for like my bronzer. So this is gonna be awesome. Alright, so let's stop talking and pick some colors and get to coloring here. Let's look at my color swatch sheet. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's start with, we'll start with the leaves, and then we'll come back and do the blackberry looking things. So for the leaves, I do have a little bit of selection of green. Apple green, cedar green, or apple green mask green. I don't know. This is hard. Or we could do brighter colors. So we could do the true green, Hawker's green, Viridia. This is a tough choice. I think I need to invest in some more of these pencils. Someday I will have the full set of these. These are some of my favorite pencils. I think we're going to do apple green, moss green, cedar green, and if we need to, I can dig in and get some sepia in there to kind of do some shadow. So let's find those. Apple green, moss green, what I see, cedar green. It should be back here, and the sepia if we have to have it. Alright, so we're going to do some sharpening. Let's zoom you guys in. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can't wait. I ordered another Tagal pencil sharpener today, and I also ordered another coloring book today. We have some animals in the house. We're not allowed to have cats and dogs, so we have like, I could count them all, but it would take me a minute. We have like 10 aquariums in the house. So we keep fish. I keep live bears, and I have a really pretty male beta. My boyfriend is more of a cichlid guy, so he's got a bunch of cichlids that he keeps, and he's just started his first live bear tank. So my son has a chameleon in his room that he keeps, and my daughter has 3 birds in her bedroom. So she's got 2 budgies, parakeets, and she's got a cockatiel that we just recently got. I'm starting with apple green if anybody is interested in my color combos. I know these aren't the most popular pencils among color tubers, but I love them. So I'm putting down my apple green. So anyway, this cockatiel, she shopped for like forever. She took her birthday and Christmas money that she got, and she ordered it from Pennsylvania. So when she shipped it, the lady who shipped it to an airport that was like an hour away. Number one, I'm a very anxious driver, and the airport that it shipped to was in a city of about 250,000 people, Evansville, Indiana. For those of you who are familiar with the area that I live in, it was in Evansville. And so, and you know, we're poor people. I mean, we're not poor people. We're middle class people. Jeez, I can't hold on to the pencil. But we aren't familiar with airports. You know, I've never flown anywhere in my life. My kids have never flown anywhere in their lives. So airports really aren't our jam. So it was like a new experience for all of us to go in this airport. And so the bird flew in the cargo hold all the way from Pennsylvania, and it was supposed to arrive at like, I don't know, after 10 p.m. I think it was actually supposed to be closer to midnight. It was supposed to arrive. And it ended up showing up like an hour early. So we get there, we met the bird, everything was fine. We brought the bird home, everything was fine. The bird's name is Yoshi, if anybody is interested. And maybe I'll get her to bring him out and you guys can meet him. He is such a fun little bird. Cockatiels are the neediest little things. Like, they are needy, social birds, but he's so fun. I wouldn't trade him for the world. He stays in her room for the most part. Well, she's gone to college all day. So like, when she's home, he's out flying around in her room, and when she's gone, he's in the cage. Except for if she's going to be gone for like a long, long time, she'll bring him out. Oh, that's so good. The makeup brush is so good. I like this color combo. I think that's pretty much exactly what I wanted, the nice bright greens with it. So I'm going to stick with that. And I did end up putting just a smidge of the sepia up there just to make it look a little darker. Let me see if I can zoom you in more so you can see. I didn't realize it was still kind of far away. There we go. Oh, see, here we go again. This whole thing, I'm used to it being like, because I record on my Samsung Galaxy S8, right? And it used to be, before it updated to the new Android Pie, it used to be that when I did the screen view on my computer on Windows 10, it would show me it to me in whatever direction my phone was facing. So I could like watch myself in landscape mode, because that's how I film. Well, then when it updated to Pi, it changed. I think it was the Pi update. It might have happened before. But it changed, and now it won't let me, like, it won't put it in landscape view. So I'm trying to watch what I'm doing on my computer screen, but it's sideways for me. So I'm trying to get the hang of it. It's hard enough to like watch yourself on camera when you're used to doing the videos, but it's been forever for me, so it's like brand new territory here. So if you guys see me moving the book around a lot, or like things aren't centered properly, I am so sorry. I will get the hang of it eventually. So that's apple green is the light green that I use, and now I have moss greens, and I'm just kind of going around this where she's used the like the pointillism here to kind of show us where her darker areas are. So I'm putting that there. Oh, I meant to put some down here on the stem, because the stem's gonna evolve like into brown into that branch. So So we're going to make the stems this color green. And I'm just like using a light hand to put my colors where I want them. So now I've got cedar green, which is the darkest of all the greens that I chose. And I'm going in with like medium pressure for this one to make sure I can get it down in those little nooks and crannies. You know what I didn't do, guys? I did not put something behind my page. And that's like, that's bad. Hold on just a second. Let me find a piece of paper. I've got cardstock right beside me. So I'm just going to take a couple sheets of cardstock and put them in there. There we go. That's better. So if you hear, oh, I was on this color. If you hear some noises, we were busy all evening. We had to go to the mall. My daughter got her hair cut. She went from having hair that was just like right between her shoulder blades and the back, and she cut it all off. She got what I like to call an edgy pixie cut. It looks really cute. And then while we were there, I went shopping and bought some nail polish. So Claire's is having this sale where their nail polishes are buy 3, get 3 free. You have to excuse them. They're kind of messy because I just painted them. But it's purple metal, which is just so cool. I had to have it. Normally I go through and clean up before I get on camera. Like I'll clean my cuticles up. But I didn't have time. It was either record this video now with messy nails or it had to wait until tomorrow. I figured I'd do it now. So I put the cedar green down. Now I'm going back over it with a moss green again just to kind of blend it in a little bit and pull it out so that the blend into the apple green isn't quite so harsh. And I put I put the sepia like right in here. Just like right in the points. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And that gives you some of your contrast, which we talked about in the last video. Contrast really kind of helps make things stand out and makes them look like not even necessarily realistic. Because, you know, when I color, I'm not trying to go for photorealism. I'm just trying to go for cute and whimsical. But that contrast, even though it does help make things look a little more realistic, it also like helps them stand out off the page. You can use contrast to tell the people who are looking at your picture where you want them to look between contrast and color. And that's kind of cool that you have the power to do that just by the way you choose to put color on your page. Moss green again. This is so much fun. Yeah, so I have also decided that I think part of the reason why like I disappeared from YouTube and the coloring community in general, it really started to feel like work to me. And you know, 90% of my life is work. I'm putting the sepia in first this time just so I can try to see if it blends out differently, like if I can make it not so harsh and blend it out easier. So I put the moss green in. Now I'm going in with sepia, and then I'll try to blend it out a little with the cedar. But yeah, it started to feel like work to me. And you know, a lot of my life is work the way it is. Like I'm constantly on the run, working, cleaning, cooking, taking somebody somewhere, doing something. And coloring is my hobby. It's what I do for fun, for enjoyment, to relax. And I think that it started feeling like work. Like I was expecting too much of myself, I think, is the way I want to say it. And it made it hard for me. I just kind of lost the desire to do it. To color, not just YouTube videos, the desire to color in general. Alright, let me take my little Tombow Mono Zero, which is like the coolest eraser ever. Let me move it over here so you can see it. And it's so tiny. Look at the tip. I'll put it in the description below so you guys can check one out if you're interested. But this little guy is great for cleaning up your little, oh my goodness, I just got out of the lines mishaps. And it is also refillable. The refills aren't exactly cheap, but they won't break the bank either. And they last forever. It's a really good quality eraser. It'll last a long, long time. So I'll put that down in the description below. I'll put links to the coloring book and to the, if you're interested in the Lyra Polycolor pencils. These are really cool. They're like, they kind of remind me of the Polychromos, and they are oil pencils like the Polychromos, I think. I think so. I'm not certain, so, you know, don't take that to the bank. But they are softer than the Polychromos in a way. They're very thin. When you hold them in your hand, they're very thin pencils, but the cores are the same size, I believe, as the Prismacolors. So even though the pencil barrel itself is thinner, the cores are the same size as a normal pencil. So if your hands are more comfortable holding smaller pencils, this might be a good option for you. Now, because this leaf is smaller, it's going to end up looking darker, and that's okay. By the time I get all the colors in here, it's just, that's how it is. I'm going to be really, I'm going to use this one sparingly. I got outside the lines a little bit again, because I'm trying to watch the computer screen and not what I'm coloring. Right, and then over it with the apple green. That's alright. You'll never know that's there later. And these pencils do shed a little bit, so that's something that the Polychromos don't do, is shed or crumble or put off a powder. But yeah, so guys, if you've seen, oh, let me get over here where you can see what I'm doing. If you've seen my, which way am I going? Which way am I going? Which way am I going? Here we go. If you've seen my videos where I've recommended paintbrushes to wipe away your Prismacolor dust or whatever pencils you're using if they put off a dust, those still work. I don't want you to think that they don't work or that there's something wrong with them. It's just that I feel like, you know, given trial and error and watching other YouTubers and what they do and listening to, and artists, listening to artists' advice, people like, Kirsty Partridge Art, if you've never seen her channel and you're interested in learning how to like draw or paint with colored pencils, I love her channel. Her channel is amazing. She keeps everything short and to the point, and I have learned so much from her. But the makeup brushes are better than the paint brushes. They're just a little more expensive. So I'm happy I have it. It works very well for me. I don't think I'll go back to using paint brushes. I may put one like in my travel coloring bag just so I have one in there. And I'm sure that the paint brushes, because I use big ones, like this is what I have, and these are soft too. Right, this is like a great big 3-inch paintbrush, I believe. Let's see, yep, 3 inches. And this is nice and soft, but it's not as soft as this. The makeup brush is softer. So alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break and go get something to drink. Sitting here talking is making me really thirsty, and I didn't bring a drink. And I don't want to ask you guys to sit here and wait for me, so I shall return. Alright guys, thank you so much for bearing with me there. I'm all set. I've got my drink. I'm cheating today and drinking a cherry mellow yellow because it's fantastic and I like it. So that's what I decided I would have. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit. Not too far. There we go. Alright, where was I? Right here. Yeah, so we've been doing like water changes this evening on the bajillion tanks. And I have, my 2 tanks are both 20 gallon. I have a 20 gallon long and then a 20 gallon standard. And I'm switching the standard one for another 20 gallon long just because I like the way they look. And there's nothing wrong with it. I keep live bears. I have mollies in one. I have mostly Dalmatian mollies, and I have one black molly, and then I have a creamsicle molly, but the rest are all Dalmatians, and they breed in there. So I get to supply people close to me with some mollies here and there, which is nice. And then I also keep guppies. And I have, you know, I keep guppies because I like the way guppies look. They're just pet store guppies. They're like PetSmart guppies. They get some nice ones. We go in there all the time, and I just pick out the ones. If there's one there that looks good, I'll grab it and take it home. And they also breed, but the whole thing is I know people say not to breed pet store, like PetSmart fish or whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to win any competitions, and I'm not trying to, like, sell them for a whole bunch of money to anybody or anything like that. It's just fun for me. It's something to do, something to watch. Fish are really relaxing. They, like if you're stressed out, having a bad day, or mine are in my bedroom, so if I can't sleep at night, I just watch my aquarium. And it lulls me off to sleep, and it's really, really cool. So I have guppies in one, mollies in the other. And we've had guppy babies and molly babies, and I don't watch my tanks like a hawk. I know a lot of people, like once they have their fry born, they'll go and pull them all out, or they'll take the parents out. Mine's a molly community tank, so I don't do all of that. It's survival of the fittest in there. Now, if somebody's picking on somebody, of course, then you separate them. But as far as when you have clutches of fish, in the wild, they eat the fry. That's just what they do. And so I'm assuming that's probably happening in my aquariums. But I do provide hiding places for the baby fry, so they have somewhere to go and hide. And we get probably, I don't know, I have probably like 20 guppies in my tank right now, but a lot of them are fry, so they're really, really tiny. So I'm going to have to start moving some out. And I know that with guppies you can keep, they say an inch per gallon is the rule, which is kind of silly. I don't go by the inch per gallon rule, but I know guppies, as long as you are willing to keep up with the maintenance, you can break that quite a bit. But I don't want to have more than like 20 guppies in there, because I feel like it would just be, I feel like all hell would break loose with the guppies. And you have to be careful too. You have to make sure that you have the right ratio of males to females, or else you'll end up with incredibly stressed out females. So that's something else that you have to watch. So it wouldn't hurt. I think I'm going to get or find one of the tanks that we already have, so I can move fish around when I need to. It's fun. It's just something else to do that doesn't take a whole lot of time. I mean, it does. It takes a while to do the water changes once a week, but honestly, it's so worth it. It really, really is. It's worth every second of it. I need to go back in here with the moss. I didn't get it into the center quite enough for my liking. So yeah, people get mad at me because I don't fish all the molly fry out of my tanks, or guppy fry out, and I'm like, you know, honestly, when they're that small, it's so hard to get them out of there anyway. Like, you have to find them, and then you have to net them out with like a brine shrimp net, because if you try to do it with a regular one, you're gonna kill them because they'll get stuck in the mesh. So we just let nature take its course. And I've gotten some really, really cute fish. If you guys remind me, I'll share some pictures. We'll see if I can share some pictures on Facebook or something of my tanks that you guys can see. It's a lot of fun. I like it. And it's really neat. I think one of my favorite things now to do is, because my fish tanks are in my bedroom, so both of my aquariums are in the bedroom, and I have a TV in my bedroom, so I can go in there, get in my bed in my pajamas, turn on YouTube on my TV, on my Roku, watch my fish, and color in my coloring book on my lap desk. It was a gift that I treasure that gift. That was like the most generous thing one of the most generous things anybody's ever sent to me. And I use that thing all the time. All the time. So you know who you are, person who sent it to me. We talk to each other on Facebook a lot now. I just want to say thank you again. And I'm sorry I didn't remember whether or not you wanted me to say your name, so I'm not going to. But if you want to leave a comment and say it was me, you can feel free to do so, because I am incredibly grateful for my lap desk. It's really nice, guys. It's a wooden lap desk with a little drawer on the side and like a pop-up easel. I'll see if I can find the link for that too. You know what? Let me write this stuff down. I'm going to sit here and tell you guys I'm going to find all this stuff, and then I'm not going to do it. Alright, so we're going to find you guys links to, we're going to do Fairy Miracles. And we're going to do the Lyra Polycolors. I'm going to find you guys a link to those if you want to try them. And I'm going to find you a link to the Tombow Mono Zero. Alright, so there's all of that, so I don't forget any of it. Oh, the lap desk. The reason I got the paper out in the first place. See, guys? See what I mean? I can put exclamation points so I don't forget it again. So I'll put links to all that downstairs so you guys can see it. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you guys that if you use the links that I put in the descriptions of my videos, or if you ask me for like a link in the Facebook group or something, if you ask me to give you a link, it will be an Amazon affiliate link, and that basically means that if you buy that product, or if you actually buy anything from Amazon and you use my link to get to Amazon, I get a commission. It's a really small commission. It's literally like pennies for everything you buy. I get like a few cents. It doesn't cost you anything more at all. The price is the same for you whether you order through my links or you just go to Amazon directly on your own. But it does help the channel out. It helps me out. It lets me get things to show to you guys, which is really cool because I like to get happy mail and I like to show you new stuff. So it's not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary. But if you, it's just something that you should know. Like legally, I'm required to tell you that I'm an Amazon affiliate and I do get a commission when you buy stuff. So, oh, let me put a little bit more brown over here on this side. I'm just trying to make my leaves look just right, which is this is why it takes me so long to color anything. I like the Polycolors too because honestly it feels like they stay sharp longer than the Polychromos do, which is, I know that seems kind of crazy, but they do. They stay sharp forever. Like by now I'd already be sharpening, I would have sharpened my Prismacolors a couple times by now. And then the Polychromos, probably I would have sharpened it at least once. But these I haven't sharpened at all since I started. See how nice it looks? I love it. I love it. I guess I better do this little guy over here, huh? I think I'm getting a cold. I'm all nasally. I don't feel sick though, so it could just be allergies because it's like really bad right now. Have you guys seen the pictures on like on Facebook and the news of the pollen cloud that was over, I think it was North Carolina? There's just a big yellow pollen cloud. It was awful. Well, I live in Kentucky. I live in a town called Owensboro, and there was a pollen cloud here. It was like it wasn't here, but you could see it if you looked off like toward our little bitty airport. You can see a giant pollen cloud. So maybe it is allergies. I'm willing to bet it's allergies. My screen. That was a little darker than I wanted. I picked up the wrong pencil, but that's okay. It'll be fine. There. This one I think I need to go back over again. And the thing with the Polycolors too, I'm moving everything out of your all's view just repeatedly. I gotta stop doing that. The thing with these pencils too is that if you push hard, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hard you push with them. I mean, of course you get darker color if you use a lot of pressure, but if you really want to see the full color, you have to use layers. It like kind of forces you to layer them a little bit to get the most out of them. Of course you can use them without layering them, but it's more beneficial. You see the richness of the color if you do. And I am a layering fool. I love to layer some pencils. That's probably why I like them so much. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go down and do like these stems and the tops of these, and I'm going to color a couple of these for you before I call my video quits for the night. I'm trying to find a center. There we go. So I'm going to color these the same colors as my other leaves. And then we'll pick some cool colors to, I don't know, color them like raspberries or blackberries or something similar, probably. And I'll put some color on the stems here. Actually, I don't think this is, I think this is like a, this is going to be green too. I'll probably do it in the same greens. Because it just dawned on me that it's not like a tree branch. It's not, it's a vine with berries growing on it. Okay, so I just shaded like a little tiny bit on that one side of this. So now I'm going to come in and we're going to shade the part of the leaf that's closest to the berry. I think this. And this one we're going to shade all the way back into this little corner because it's like back behind. Let me zoom you in and show you. Alright. Here we go again, trying to figure out where to put the book. Okay, so that's the center, so we want to put it like right here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to make you guys nauseous. Okay, so this leaf, you see how this one here is like tucked back in behind that? So that's going to be pretty dark. So I'm going to do it like that. It's about time for me to have to sharpen this pencil. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to take my cedar green, that was moss. Now I'm going to take cedar, and we're going to get even closer to the berry. And I don't know how much difference you guys are going to be able to see on camera with me adding these colors, but hopefully once I get to the sepia and go back over it with the green, you'll really see it. Oh, and I need to put some of my moss green on this and on this. Just leave that little centerpiece right there. Leave that little bit right there, the lighter color. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with cedar, and we're going to make this all darker. I'm going to put some of it right here. Back up on that stem since we're coloring that green too. And then really super close, and then all the way back behind that, all the way back behind the berry. And then finally I'm going to take the dark sepia, and I'm going to put it as thin a line as I can. I'm not even going to blend it, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to put it right here on this branch because there's going to be a shadow here where this leaf is. So I'm going to put that sepia there. I'm going to put it right here because there will be a shadow there and a shadow there. And like this, if you're just putting little tiny shadows, it doesn't matter if you do it first or last because you can still blend it out as long as you don't push too hard. I'm going to put it right here on the stems like that. We're going to put some just around the edges here and where the little leaves overlap each other. Like that. Now you guys can probably see the difference and what I mean about the contrast again. And then this leaf right here is going to be almost completely dark. And things like this, it takes practice, really. The easiest way for you guys to start doing this on your own, to start practicing like shading light and shadow and all that stuff, is to kind of imagine that the sun is right here, right? The sun is like coming down right here. Like it's center and right in the middle. So you're like, it's coming down on your page. And so if it's behind something, if you have an object that's behind something, of course there's going to be a shadow there. If you have an object that's under something, it depends on how it's under there. Honestly, to be completely honest, most people don't really even pay attention. So like if you put your shadows on the wrong side of something, nobody's really going to notice. And that shadow is still going to make everything pop right off the page, even if it's in the wrong place. So don't be afraid to get in there and do your shadows any way that you have to do them, even if you misplace one. It really doesn't matter. So I got those stems done. Oh, let me put some more sepia on this side. There we go. That's better. Alright, so I'm going to set these colors aside and we're going to do these two little berries. Oh. And I will leave you zoomed in on them just like that. So I have this wine red color that I think would be really nice. So you could do like medium flesh, wine red, and then just use a gel pen. So you could do light flesh. Their purple is a weird purple. You could do light flesh, medium flesh, wine red. Let's do that. And then we'll have like raspberry color, I think. Light flesh, medium flesh, wine red. Awesome, awesome. And then if we need to, we can go in with some black, or once again, we could use a dark sepia again for some extra shadows if we need them. But we'll see what the wine red does for us first. Making a mess, making a mess. I'm getting my pencils nice and sharp. For these, I tend to keep it, for these in the Polycolor, so my Tagal sharpener here, I tend to keep it, it's got this little dial, right, so you can adjust the size of your point, and I tend to keep mine like at 3, and that's for the Polychromos and these pencils and the Arteza pencils. Pretty much every pencil I keep at 3, except for my Prismacolors, and I keep those at 2, because they break more easily. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go in with our light flesh, and we're going to go very, very light-handed all over the whole thing. And we're going to hope, because I'm not testing this, we're going to hope it gives us the color that I'm looking for. Any color is fine, really. I'm not too concerned. As long as it looks delicious and shiny when I'm finished. So here's a good opportunity to see how I make things like this look shiny in 3D. Okay, so once again, we're imagining that the sun is shining directly down on the page, just like this, just down on the page. So the places that, like, where the little berries overlap, the little bits of the berry, whatever those are called, maybe there's somebody out there into botanicals who can tell us. That's going to be the places where we're going to have the shadows. So I'm going to take my medium flesh, and I'm going to color everything except for the area where I want to leave a highlight, which is going to be right in these little places that she's got the little dots to tell us there's shadow here. Except I'm going to do it a little more. I'm going to color more than just that place. So I'm just leaving like this smallest little area for a highlight. And of course I'll come back in and we'll blend these out and go darker so you can see it better here in just a bit. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, you know that my first layer, I like to go in with a really, really light hand and just to see where my colors are going to be and to make sure that they work good together, because it's easier to erase your pencil if you went lightly than it is to erase your pencil if you went in heavy right off the get-go. So there's fewer dots on these two, so I'm going to leave the highlighted area bigger. And then we've got these ones where the highlighted area is going to be on the bottom of the little berry bit. Berry layers. Let's call them berry layers. That sounds scientific. You guys can hear my sponge filter bubbling in the background. It's so funny. It's relaxing to me. It may drive you guys crazy, but I like it. Oh, this is actually another part of the berry. That's right there. Okay, so now I've got my wine red, and I'm going to come in and we're going to put that in the darkest places. And this is a really rich color, so I have to be super careful with it. So this is just going in the places where she's got the little dots telling us where there's shadows. That's it. The only place it's going to go. And again, I'm using a very, very light hand. You can see how rich that color is. I'm barely touching the paper. I really do recommend these pencils. If these are pencils that you don't have yet, and you have the ability to do so, I would recommend maybe picking some up open stock. Like if you ever place an order at Dick Blick, they have them. So you can order them open stock from Dick Blick. I would recommend getting like 3 colors or whatever that you can use just to get a feel for them. These pencils are great. They're easy to blend. They work well on all different kinds of paper, not Create Space. If they don't work very well on Create Space at all. I'm trying to figure out how to get less shadow over here, and I don't think there's a way for me to do it. I don't think there's anything I can do that's going to fix this shadow. And I'm not sure where it's coming from because the lights are in front of me. I'll work on that for the next video. Try to figure out how to get rid of the shadows. So it was like so nice. Early in the week, it was like it was 80 degrees as a matter of fact. It was beautiful. 80 degrees, really low humidity. Had my shorts on, had my tank top on, had my sandals on. And today the high was 48. And it's been blowing and raining and it is gross. And I'm not happy. It's the end of April. I live in Kentucky. It is not supposed to be this cold. Alright, so this kind of looks not so good yet, but that's okay. I'm taking a drink really fast. I'll be right back. We're going to come back in with our medium blush and blend that out just a little bit, so it won't look so drastic and harsh. And then at the end I'll come back in and blend it back out with a light flesh, and then we can use a gel pen to add some shiny spots. See how nicely that's blending out for me? That harsh line's all gone in the places where I've blended it out. Some people don't like these pencils, other people do. I happen to really, really like them. They're kind of costly. I got my 36 set. I started with a 36 set, and I found it from a seller, I think who was like liquidating on Amazon, a third-party seller, and I got them for $18. So if it wasn't for that sale, I wouldn't have mine at all because they're really expensive. And they're not, the open stock's kind of pricey too. I think it's like $3 and something a pencil. But in my mind, they're worth it. I really, really like them. They're in fact, they're so expensive that I don't have the full set of them. So now I'm coming back in with my light flesh and kind of going over everything to blend it out a little further. And then if I need to, I'll come back in with either the wine red or the sepia to add a little bit more shadow in there, because I don't think it looks, not quite enough contrast in it for me. So I think we will use the sepia. And then if I have to, I'll go back over the sepia with the red. Yeah, not contrasty enough. Okay, so I'm going to take that sepia, where is it? Right here. And I'm going to put it just in some places, not in every place, just in some places. And this is what really makes these berries look like they are, or the little berry layers, look like they're tucked back in behind each other. See, we're going to take this pencil, we're going to put the shadow in. I skipped this one here just a little bit. I'm going to put the shadow in. And this should make quite a bit of difference when I'm all done, but we'll see. And yes, I will have to go back in and blend some of this out. That's okay. I can do that. Oh yeah, that's a huge difference. Tremendous. You see what I mean about adding the dark color? How it makes it really, really pop off the page. Just little simple things you can do that make a humongous difference. It's crazy. And of course it is time consuming. So I mean, if you're not into layers and you're not into building up colors and contrast and stuff, you know what? That's great. You don't have to be color however you want. That's the wonderful thing about it. You don't have to color like anybody else colors. Just do your own thing. Do your own thing and be happy. That is all that matters. So now I'm taking my wine red, because that sepia and the flesh is kind of, it made it fade out a little bit. So the wine red will bring the color back into it, and it'll also help me kind of blend out that sepia some. so it won't look so, it'll still be there. You'll still see the contrast, but it won't be, have that harsh line. Like it won't be so strong. Every time I try to think of a word, like if I'm trying to think of a word to describe that a color looks strong or something, I want to say brassy. Like when you dye your hair and it turns brassy. I don't know why that word keeps coming into my head, but it does. Alright, and then one more time with medium flush, and now I'm going to use a little bit more pressure so I can really pull that color up and blend it out. That's really starting to look nice now. Yes, I'm using a firm pressure. I'm kind of trying to pull that darker color out toward the lighter area where the highlights are, because that's what's going to give you your blend. I gotta stop doing that. Stop swiping it with my hand. There we go. And now finally the light flush, and we're just going to put that, start in the light areas, and try not to go over your dark areas this time. I'm going to try not to, because I don't want to tone them down anymore. I like them just the way they are. I just want to make sure that I blend the highlights in, because then I'm going to come back over it with some gel pen in the really, really light spots. And then I will zoom out and show you what it looks like. Okay. There is that. Let me see where my gel pen is, if I have one. I have a jelly roll. Let's see if the jelly roll will do it over these pencils. Yep, it sure will. So I'm just taking my gel pen, and in the places where there is a lot of light, like right here, just putting like a little mark. That's it, just a little bitty mark. And it won't be really noticeable because it's already light there. But when I zoom out, you'll really notice it. That one I moved just a little bit too far, but that's okay. I can lift it up, smudge it out with my finger before it dries. Try to be careful and not put my hands in the wet gel pen. All right, that looks good to me. I think that looks fantastic. Give me just a second. I will zoom you out so you can see what it looks like next to the leaves. All right, that is what it looks like, just like that. And so they all will look like that when I'm finished with it. And yeah, I mean, here's the thing, it is a little bit time consuming, and it can get frustrating, but for me, that's the fun of coloring, is all the little, what is it that people say, all the lovely ladies from the UK, there's something that they say that just makes me giggle. The fiddly bits, the fiddly bits. People complain about it, oh, it's so fiddly. I like the fiddly. That's what makes me happy. So I don't mind that it's kind of fiddly. I prefer that it's a little fiddly. And that's why I like to do things like this. And if you don't mind taking your time, I mean, you can get some pretty cool looking results, I think. I think that looks really good. So I'll go through, and you know, if you wanted to, something else that you can do is, as you're going through here, instead of the wine, like you could take a deep purple and just like in a few little areas, you can change up the colors, and that'll make it look more like photorealistic. But for me, I'm afraid that I would get too many colors in there, because that's kind of a thing with me. I try to use too many colors. Alright guys, I'm going to leave the video with this today. It has been so much fun coming and coloring with you guys. In this video, in the last one, it was so nice to get to do that one too. I can't wait to come back. I might come back and do this like as a color and chat later. I don't want to start a color along or anything because it seems like every time I do, I don't get it finished. So I really don't want to make promises for a color along that I can't keep. But I am thinking about trying to finish up the one that we did in... the one that we started in a nice little town. I need to go back and watch that video and find the colors that I was using, and then go back to the picture. I can finish it once I remember the colors I was using, and we can get that done. So yeah. So if this is your first time here and you like videos like this one, go ahead and hit the like button down there for me, because if you like it, please like it. That helps a lot. And then go ahead and subscribe. And hit the bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you probably aren't going to get notified whenever I put up new content, because YouTube doesn't like to notify people very much. Feel free to share it with your friends if you think it's something that they would like to see. Every share really helps the channel, helps get in front of more people, which is importante. And otherwise, be sure to check the description down below for links to all kinds of fun stuff, including all the products that you saw me use on the channel.